start with our sales use case. I'm going to put on my sales hat here, and I'm going to go into Salesforce, and we're going to initiate a contract. So there's nothing really funny about this whole process, right? This is our Salesforce site here. So we have our opportunities in here. We're tracking our accounts. We have all of our sales information, right? It's sitting in here. This is where we want to track it. Again, going back to what Joe was saying about the right person with the right tool in the right role. Leverage those existing investments, right? CLM, Salesforce, what have you. We can grab it with Nintex and we can source this data. So let's have our sales team work on a Salesforce. Makes sense, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and initiate a brand new contract here. So again, this is our Salesforce menu here. So we're in Salesforce. So I'm in the contract side. Go to the Create New menu, New Contract. Bring up our menu here. So we want this to initiate the whole process, right? So I'm going to go ahead and pick an account here and bring that into our contract here. And now you see some other data in here, customer signed by, signed title and date, right? So some of this stuff is going to get fed back in to Salesforce once the process completes. So we're going to fill out the most appropriate data that we have now to initiate the process, and then through the lifecycle management of it, it actually gets rehydrated, and all of the systems then are updated appropriately with that operational and that strategic data. So we need a start date over here. We're going to go ahead and say that this contract is going to start on the 30th of October. It's going to be a 12-month term. We're going to go put in some additional information in here. We'll have our agreement end date be September 30th. And what I'm doing is I'm typing all this information, hand keying it all in. And what's important to note here is that a lot of people will go in and they'll modify, they'll tweak their sort of sales process to include different types of fields and metrics that they want to capture. And that's all well and good. And there's nothing that's going to make this process any more difficult for you if you have your own custom fields, your own schema, all that stuff you want to capture. Salesforce is super useful in providing all the API keys to get Nintex connected into your environment, so you don't have to go fishing around and figuring out what everything's called, right? So we can drop all this stuff in here. We're going to say our expected close date is probably going to be, we're going to go with tomorrow. Put that in there. Our revenue is going to be $675,000, and our agreement value, let's say it's a $500,000 agreement value, right? Now you notice this link to contract, signature status. So some of these fields are going to be filled out later. And that's the point of the whole CLM, is we want to start with what we know on the sales side and then let the process of CLM govern the entry of the rest of the fields. So I'm going to put some more information in here. Address. And then this is going to get actually brought into the contract itself. You'll see when that happens. So I'm going to hit save and new. I'll just hit save. Save and new. There we go. So now we have our new contract record. Excellent. Great. So that's it, right? The sales process is effectively done, right? We've gone through the process of gathering our account. We set up an opportunity in here. And then at some point we were ready to go with the contract, so we initiated that contract process out of Salesforce. So because this is a demo, and because demos require me to show you stuff, rather than automating this through the back end, which is typically how it would happen, Nintex would run a schedule, it would go grab the list of contracts, it would find the ones that are new, that have just been issued, and it would handle all that process itself. What we're going to do is we're going to take this for demo purposes. We're going to grab this little contract ID here, and now we're going to move on to the next stage in our life cycle. So let's go back to our home page, right? So let's check back in here. So we did our contract here. We started our new contract out of Salesforce. So now what we need to do is we need to generate an agreement, right? So that's our next little button here.